Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully your day is started off in the right foot. This is your main man Calvin Brown, and this is the Power Hour. Today we're talking about the state of the black community. Now, before we get started, I want to kind of give you an idea what is the purpose of this power discussion. And the purpose of this power discussion is for us to discuss different issues regarding the black community. It is dear in my heart that we improve the black community conditions as well as expand across this land and actually be able to become owners and creators of our own environment. And so, because of that, I felt that it's necessary that we create this dialogue. So, if you have any questions, you have any concerns, you have any ideas, please do not hesitate to add a comment, to provide any feedback. You can contact me at rightmind9@yahoo.com. Again, that's rightmind9@yahoo.com. That's RIGHTMIND9 at yahoo.com. So with no further ado, let's go ahead and jump straight into the first topic of today. And the first topic is the government and what it has done to the black community. Now, when I think of the government, I can think of a lot of things. Now, one thing I do want to mention that I do think about is that in dire needs and necessary times, I think the government does provide some type of assistance. However, it becomes a point of when do you depend on the government? I listened to one of my great mentors and leaders, Dr. Clark Anderson. He stated that black people either have a job, they either depend on the government, or they steal. And I had to literally think about that and what he was talking about, and a lot of that I think has come from us depending on the government. I understand there's a lot of things that we've experienced in our life, a lot of things we've been through, but I think that there's a time where we have to be responsible for ourselves. And I think that the government has been responsible for us, and I think it's our time that we separate ourselves from being dependent on the government and being the independent and dependent on ourselves. And I think one of the key aspects of actually achieving that goal is to bring the black man back into the home. I think it's very important that we bring our brothers back into our homes, where you see two-headed households instead of one. I think we've taken the idea of independent a little too far, and I think the government programs have a benefit from it because, for example, if your child's father is not in the home, then more than likely you're gonna qualify for some type of benefit. Or for example, if that father or sometimes that mother is not in a home, that person who is watching a child or has custody of a child, they receive what they call child support. Now, these things may sound great, they may sound glorious, they may be beneficial at times. However, when you look at the bigger piece of the puzzle, it deteriorates what we call functional homes. And so I think once we bring the black man to the home, that will be one way we can free ourselves from dependent on the government and more dependent on ourselves. I think another key aspect is stop talking about each other. I mean, a lot of times, what we do is we find ourselves, we spend more time talking about each other than encouraging each other. And I think we need to reverse that talking and start doing more of encouraging. I think once we start encouraging ourselves, we will start seeing ourselves to do more things. And a lot of times, encouragement comes with coming together. I think once we come together as a conscious mind, I think that will also allow us to not have to depend on the government so much. And that also goes with government jobs. I mean, because when the government cuts the job, what do you do next? And one thing we must realize as people of color is that we are creators in our nature, meaning that we've been creators since our existence. We've created our own motherland in Africa. We've created our lands in other countries. To name a few, Jamaica, Haiti, Guyana, you look at China, you look at India, these are all nations of colored people. And so we have to look at it and stop really generalizing ourselves and thinking that a black person is an African American, because we expand way across this land. And again, when we understand these things, it will help us and allow us to pull ourselves off this government program. But right now, in the state that we are in, I think that we are in a desperate moment where we need to do something. And I don't think that something should be something out of unrational thinking, but I think we need to get to a point of rational thinking in our right mind so we can make sure that we are doing some of the things that are necessary to free ourselves from this program, which we consider the government programs. And I truly believe that we can. Now, that's my opinion and that's my idea. I wanted to just kind of show you or give you a little piece of my mind, and hopefully you give me a piece of your mind. And just remember, you can contact me at rightmind9@yahoo.com. Again, that's rightmind9@yahoo.com. Or you can also leave your comment or leave a statement. I would love to hear from you, love to hear your ideas, love to hear your opinions and your desires on the black community. Until then, peace and blessings. Stay blessed.